He wasn't just a king, he was the man with the heart of a lion. He didn't fall to the British bullet. He rose as the first rebel of freedom. Have you ever heard the forests of Kerala roar? They only said one thing: piracy is coming. And the British never saw another peaceful dawn.
If you are into history or art, you really should know the Pazhassi Raja Museum and Art Gallery. It's far more than just a building filled with old artifacts. It's almost like a physical essay on Malabar's history. This single location brings together three distinct but deeply connected stories: the ancient archaeology of North Kerala, the turbulent colonial conflicts of the past, and the region's rich artistic heritage, all under one roof. Let's begin as we must with the man himself, Pazhassi Raja. Understanding the namesake is key to understanding the museum. The museum honors Kerala Varma, a member of the Kottayam royal family's Padiñare Kovilikam branch. But he wasn't just another royal figure. He was the leader and the driving force behind the famous Pazhassi Revolt, one of the earliest and fiercest uprisings against the British East India Company in the late 18th century. Known as the Lion of Kerala, Pazhassi Raja earned his title through his courage and defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. While the British relied on massive conventional armies, Pazhassi Raja mastered guerrilla warfare, using the rugged, forested hills of Wayanad to his advantage. It was a brilliant use of terrain, asymmetric warfare, before the term even existed. For years, he waged an unrelenting war, a symbol of local resistance and independence. His life ended in battle, shot and killed on November 28, 1805, but his legacy endured. So when you step into Pazhassi Raja Museum, you're entering a space named for a man who embodied resistance. Every artifact, every wall seems to whisper that same story of a region constantly fighting for its identity against external powers. And then comes the astonishing irony. A museum dedicated to an anti-colonial hero is housed in a building that once represented the very opposite, colonial power itself. This structure, known as the East Hill Bungalow, was built in 1812, barely 7 years after Pazhassi Raja's death. It was commissioned by Thomas Harvey Baber, the British Malabar collector, and served as the official residence for colonial administrators for over a century. So yes, the house that once symbolized British authority in Malabar now honors the man who defied it. Reclaiming this space is a powerful statement in itself. Even after independence, the building remained a seat of administration until 1970. It has silently witnessed the entire arc of Kerala's modern history, from subjugation to sovereignty. Two moments define its colonial past. First, William Logan, author of the Malabar Manual, wrote that definitive account of British Malabar right here in this bungalow. The book became a cornerstone of colonial governance, shaping how the British viewed and ruled the region. And second, the darker chapter. In 1855, collector H.V. Connolly was assassinated on these very premises. The seat of power became the site of defiance. So today, when this building houses the Pazhassi Raja Museum, it feels like a silent act of historical justice. The oppressor's symbol reclaimed to create resistance. Now, inside these walls, the story stretches far beyond the colonial era. The collections take you thousands of years into the Iron Age and megalithic periods of modern Kerala. You'll also find burial urns, Iron Age pottery, and iron weapons, excavated from the sites like Vatiyur, Kannur, Trikannapuram in Malappuram. These artifacts trace the development of technology, trade, and community from simple settlements to complex societies. There are also stone tools that tell the story of early human innovation in North Kerala. Altogether, the archaeological section builds a vivid picture of how civilization itself evolved here. Among the most fascinating items, though, are the Harappan artifacts, relics from the Indus Valley civilization. These weren't discovered locally but were gifted in 1948 by Sir Mortimer Wheeler, the famed archaeologist and then head of the Archaeological Survey of India. The timing was no accident. Just after independence, there was a conscious effort to connect India's regions into a single, unified historical narrative. By placing artifacts from Harappa, the cradle of Indian civilization, in Malabar, Wheeler was symbolically linking Kerala's story to that of the entire subcontinent. It was an act of integration through heritage. But the museum doesn't stop at visual art. It delves deeper into culture, into language itself, the backbone of identity. Here you can trace the evolution of the Malayalam script from its ancient curved form, Vattiruthu, meaning rounded writing, to the modern script we use today. It's a fascinating journey through time, showing how writing, trade, and culture developed hand in hand. The main gallery then weaved together politics, trade, and religion, presenting Malabar's history as a grand continuum. Through coins, inscriptions, and artifacts, they narrate the shifts in power from the Chera dynasty through the Naduvari lords to the Mysore invasion. Trade, of course, lies at the heart of Malabar's story. For centuries, Kozhikode was a global hub, connecting the east and west through spices, timber, and maritime routes. But that same prosperity also drew waves of conquest. The desire to control Malabar's trade wealth ultimately invited colonial occupation, prosperity, and vulnerability side by side. The museum also explores spiritual life, showcasing the architecture of temples and mosques, the region's religious diversity, and the role of Christian missionary movements. Together they form a vivid, multidimensional portrait of Malabar: political, cultural, linguistic, and sacred. In the end, the Pazhassi Raja Museum and Art Gallery functions as a microcosm of the region's entire history. You begin with the story of the Lion of Kerala, move through the colonial seat that now bears his name, and travel back in time to prehistoric colonial chambers, ancient trade routes, and artistic revolutions. It's an extraordinary journey from stone tools to oil paintings, from resistance to reclamation. If you plan to visit, the museum is managed by the Kerala State Archaeology Department. It opens from 9 a.m. to around 5 p.m., closed on Mondays and public holidays. It's located about 7 kilometers from Kozhikode railway station, easily accessible from the city center. There's a souvenir shop, reference library, and conference hall, ideal for researchers and curious visitors alike. Ultimately, what makes this place so powerful is not just what's on display, it's what it stands for. When a society takes a building that once embodied colonial authority and transforms it into a monument celebrating its own culture and resistance, that act itself becomes the most profound exhibit of all. The Pazhassi Raja Museum is more than a collection. It's a statement of identity, resilience, and the enduring spirit of Malabar.